Well, you've requested this, a few of you. You want to hear the story of how I got Richard, how we became united as owner and pet. So in 2017, for some reason I thought it was October of 2017 when I got him, but it looks like I didn't take him to the vet until spring of 2018. So anyway, sometime in late 2017 or early 2018, I was living with one roommate in a 2-bedroom apartment, and I decided I wanted to get a cat. I asked them if they were okay with a cat. Yeah, they were. They encouraged it. They said they'd be fine with me owning a cat. I always liked cats. I had 3 different cats growing up, if you count Ty. I guess if you don't count Ty, I had 2 cats growing up. But I lived with cats my whole childhood, and I always liked cats. They're furry, they're cute, they're playful, and they're pretty easy to take care of. So anyway, I was in the market for a cat, and I started looking for cats on Craigslist. Richard just chirped. He's so cute. I started looking for cats on Craigslist and had been messaging with a few people. I messaged with Richard's owner and then another owner in Florence. Oh, I was living in Eugene, Oregon at the time. The state to the north of here. The home of the Oregon Ducks. And I talked to another cat from Florence, Oregon, a white cat. I was looking at getting that cat. But anyway, I had been messaging with Richard's owner on Craigslist. I had their phone number because we were getting serious about adopting. I was getting serious, and they were getting serious about letting me take Richard. He was free, and he had all of his shots. I updated his annual shots, but he was neutered. But they called me one evening. We had been messaging, and they asked, hey, look, Richard really needs to get out of his situation. He's not in a good situation. He's with my boyfriend and his dog at his house because I already moved out of my apartment, his old owner said. They said, can you take Richard tonight? And I said, well, I don't know. I'd like to meet him, see if I like him first. But yeah, I think I could. And so they said, great. And so I gave them my address, and they showed up an hour or 2 later. And Richard was in the trunk of the car. They came to the front of my complex, called me, and I came out to the front to meet them. They drove a Domino's pizza truck. There were lots of pizza boxes on their passenger seat. I didn't see Richard when I first met them. They asked if they could drive me to my apartment. I said, it's not that far, I'll walk, just because I saw all the pizza boxes. But they're like, oh, it's okay, I'll move these boxes. So just follow me, it's really not far. And so I led them to my apartment. It really was close to the front of the complex. And they opened the trunk of their car. They said, here he is, this is Richard. They named him Richard because Richard was long for Dick. I just like the name. I kept the name Richard. I think it's a good name for a cat. It's nice and formal. But anyway, they brought Richard. He was not in a cat carrier. He was just in the trunk of the car, which was not good. And Richard came out of the trunk and walked around a little bit. And he just walked with me to my apartment, up the stairs. I had bought some cat food, and I put the cat food in a bowl. And that's how I got Richard. We didn't start going for walks right away, but after about 2 or 3 days, I let him be an indoor-outdoor cat. I put his food bowl out in front of our home the first day or two, just so I knew he would know where to go to find home. And sure enough, he always came back. So that's the story of how I got Richard. Basically, the short of it is I was living in Oregon as a single bachelor, and I wanted a pet. I wanted a cat. And Richard turned out to be the perfect cat. Thank you for watching and listening. I hope you have a good evening. Oh, and Richard was 4 when I got him, so he's about 10 now. He'll turn 11 at the end of the year. And I did have 3 cats growing up. I had Judo, Karate, and Ellie. Ty doesn't count because Ty was my parents' cat when I was already an adult and had moved out.